Let's do one more exercise in Newman projection, starting from the wedge and dash. And this time, remember, we're going to be using this instead of the models. So drawing my structure, my initial structure, we have here carbon, carbon, and I'm going to draw metal here. So that is in the plane. I'm first drawing things in the plane. When you see this like that, it's actually already not eclipse. We have hydrogen here, and I think this is what I had on my drawing is a bit easy, so I'm gonna make it a little different. What I had in my drawing on the end, so yeah, so I think I'm gonna change this to say a chlorine. I'm trying to make this more interesting. So from that, now I'm going to change my point of view. I'm going to try to draw it this way. Because again, if you're on a test or you're solving a problem, it's not going to be always viewing it from the same side, right? So now we're going to be looking at that in that direction, and I'm going to be using my fingers again to show where things are going, all right? So because my view is this way here, the circle is going to represent this carbon. So let's draw that. This carbon here has a metal going down. Metal. And now I'm going to use my thumb and my finger. And say pointing inside the screen is a chlorine. And then the thumb is going to be the hydrogen. So thumb is a hydrogen, chlorine is in the dashes here represented by the index. And I'm viewing it from this side, and I'm going to go and rotate it that way. And so again, we said that the index is a chlorine, the thumb is a hydrogen. When I go this way, I will have thumb is a hydrogen, and the chlorine is here. So again, I did this rotation. Thumb, chlorine, hydrogen is a wedge, and I did this. Now, the carbon in the back, we see here, has a bromine going up. So this is it. And again, I'm going to use this to figure out where the H in the middle is. So now I'm going to say, again, remember always that this is my view. Now, the index is going to be the H, the hydrogen, and the thumb is going to be the middle. This is my view. I'm going to do the same rotation. So my thumb is this. So again, this is index is the hydrogen, thumb is the metal. When I go like that, now metal is this side. So practice that so that you're able to use this, say your fingers as your tool. Now this is your confirmation from that point of view. From this, you could also draw the Sawhorse, and let's do the Sawhorse for that. So this is a little tilted. So in here we're drawing this carbon in the front, has a metal, and has a chlorine to that side, and an H here. The carbon in the back is no longer eclipsing the Sawhorse, and now I have a bromine. The carbon in the back has this H and the metal here. So Newman projection, Sawhorse. And those are staggered. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, but we're going to try now. Oh, let's do one more thing I remember. Let's do nomenclature here now that we have the structure. And for that, I'm going to redraw that, but easier, doing, say, lines. Carbon, 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 carbon. And here I have a chlorine, and I have a bromine. I'm not drawing it here how they are in the space like that. But here I only want to do nomenclature, even though here we have one element that we haven't discussed yet, which is chirality. But for now, I'm going to omit that. And so in IUPAC nomenclature, we need to number the longest chain. So it has 4 carbons. But if I do, let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4, my parent name is going to be butane for 4 carbons. But 4 A and E is the termination for alkanes. And now I did this numbering to give, because I need to list the substituents alphabetically. If you guys remember your IPAC, bromine alphabetically needs to be listed before chlorine. And so that way I'll assign bromine the number 2. And so this is the right number, not the other way. So this molecule then will be 2 bromo, 3 chloro. So 2 bromo, 3, and I'm running out of space, chlorobutane. There is another element here that we will be discussing later in other videos about the fact that this carbon is chiral, and that's also a chiral center. But because we haven't seen that yet, I'm not introducing this into the name of the molecule. But there is some stereochemistry to be considered. We'll talk about in later videos.